gentleman that started his business back in 2009 and is in the digital agency space, which is growing. Year on year, we're talking 200% growth. Mr. Daniel Levy, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for having us in this amazing creative space.
Pleasure.
And before we get into your business, I want to find a little bit about your background.
Sure.
I understand you were a lawyer before.
I became a lawyer, commercial lawyer. I practiced for a year post qualifying, and I always had the propensity to want to own my own business. I had the aversion to selling time. And being an entrepreneur, you're the master of your own destiny. So it ticked all those boxes. And thankfully, in hindsight, when I look back, I made the right move.
Popimedia. What does Popimedia do?
So it's evolved over the years. Initially, we started off as a social digital agency. Today, we're effectively the biggest buyers of Facebook media inventory in Africa. So we've become what we call a media ad tech business. So we've developed technology which optimizes your buying power in social platforms, not only Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, programmatic, etc. And we basically the guys that give a client bang for their buck and great return on investment for what they're spending in a digital environment.
But why a digital agency then?
Back in 2008, we kind of needed to pivot our business. It was still early days, and we realized that dabbling in what we termed ambient media, which was branding cars, was kind of the bottom of the barrel from a budgetary point of view, and we kind of took a risk and thought digital was the up and coming. We backed Facebook. In those days, it had about 60 million people around the world.
Yeah.
Today, it's 1.5 billion. So we were in the right place at the right time, and thankfully that is the spot to be, and that's where budgets are moving.
And that's social media has grown, so you've got other platforms now.
Absolutely, across the board, integrating all proliferating clients into Africa and globally. We've spun off Popimedia, so this is the media part of the business. There's another business called Emote, which is a digital agency. So we're trying to cover all bases within the environment.
It's interesting because you're in the creative space. I'm walking into your offices and I'm just seeing this beautiful energy. I'm seeing colors. I'm seeing a youthful touch. Was that intentional?
Look, it comes hand in hand with the environment. It is a very creative environment, and I think one needs to kind of nurture that. Coupled with that, we're young. And we need to be proud of being young.
What African countries do you guys enjoy presence?
So I've been up to Nigeria a couple of times. Nigeria is an unbelievable market, just totally, they've quantum leaped where South Africa was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. By way of example, they don't even know what a desktop machine is. They literally went straight into mobile devices. People walk around Nigeria with multiple devices.
Yeah.
And essentially, where they've gone as a market, in terms of e-commerce, they can play hardball with very like-minded companies in South Africa. So Nigeria's one, Kenya's another, Angola's another, and those are kind of the main markets north of our borders. There are 3 main things. So when you asked me why I left law, the initial reason was that I didn't believe in selling time. When I then sat down and thought about it more systematically, I suppose there are 3 main things that came to mind. One was I wanted a global business, I wanted a scalable business, and I wanted a business that could bring me annuity-based revenue. And that's exactly what we do here. So global is the next big thing for us. Yes, we've kind of specialized in emerging markets. And we're currently looking at other emerging markets around the world.
Advice for aspiring entrepreneurs like us?
The first major thing is perseverance. Without that, you're dead. You've got to know and understand that nobody's going to hand you anything on a silver platter. It's about being able to take the knocks and get up again and again and again until you eventually succeed. I think also focus. Keep your eye on the prize. Don't dabble in too many things. Create something that you can wash, rinse, repeat many times, and just keep augmenting on that. And I think that is effectively a very small recipe to succeeding as an entrepreneur. I think by way of example, you know, most people who start businesses with nothing, you start to see a bit of money and you think, it's the next big thing. when you dilute your focus, you'll see a spike in revenue, which effectively plummets over a cliff. It's only when you apply that energy do you see a constant curve. So I think for us, we had 7 businesses initially, and all of these were making a little bit of money. But it was only when we really focused did we really start to enjoy the fruits of our labor.
If you were to say a code that you live by as an entrepreneur, to camera, to Africa, what would you say? I
was always taught by my father that in life you only get one name, and make sure that you hold on to it. So always be morally ethical, and ensure that you're true to yourself, and I think the rest will follow.